Volume 1, Book 11, Number 610. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abi Qatada. My father said, Allah's apostle said, if the Karma is pronounced, then do not stand for the prayer till you see me in front of you. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 611. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abi Qatada. My father said, Allah's apostle said, if the Karma is pronounced, then do not stand for the prayer till you see me in front of you, and do it calmly. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 612. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle went out of the mosque when the Karma had been pronounced and the rows straightened. The Prophet stood at his masala, praying place, and we waited for the Prophet to begin the prayer with takbir. He left and asked us to remain in our places. We kept on standing till the Prophet returned and the water was trickling from his head, for he had taken a bath of janaba. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 613. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Once Karma was pronounced and the people had straightened the rows, Allah's apostle went forward to lead the prayer. But he was junub, so he said, remain in your places. And he went out, took a bath and returned with water trickling from his head. Then he led the prayer. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 614. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. On the day of Al-Khandak, the trench, Umar bin al-Khattab went to the Prophet and said, O Allah's apostle, by Allah, I could not pray the Asr till the sun had set. Umar told this to the Prophet at the time when a fasting person had done iftar, taken his meals. The Prophet then went to Buthan and I was with him. He performed ablution and offered the Asr prayer after the sun had set, and then the Maghrib prayer. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 615. Narrated by Anas. Once the Karma was pronounced and the Prophet was talking to a man, in a low voice, in a corner of the mosque, and he did not lead the prayer till some of the people had slept, dozed in a sitting posture. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 616. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. Once Karma was pronounced, a man came to the Prophet and detained him from the prayer. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 617. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, by him in whose hand my soul is, I was about to order for collecting firewood, fuel, and then order someone to pronounce the adhan for the prayer, and then order someone to lead the prayer, then I would go from behind and burn the houses of men who did not present themselves for the compulsory congregational prayer. By him in whose hands my soul is, if any one of them had known that he would get a bone covered with good meat, or two small pieces of meat present in between two ribs, he would have turned up for the Isha prayer. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 618. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's apostle said, the prayer in congregation is 27 times superior to the prayer offered by person alone. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 619. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The Prophet said, the prayer in congregation is 25 times superior to the prayer offered by person alone. Volume 1, Book 11, Number 620. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, the reward of the prayer offered by a person in congregation is 25 times greater than that of the prayer offered in one's house or in the market, alone. And this is because if he performs ablution and does it perfectly and then proceeds to the mosque with the sole intention of praying, then for every step he takes towards the mosque, he is upgraded 1 degree in reward, and his one sin is taken off, crossed out, from his accounts of deeds. When he offers his prayer, the angels keep on asking Allah's blessings and Allah's forgiveness for him as long as he is staying at his masala. They say, O Allah, bestow your blessings upon him, be merciful and kind to him. And one is regarded in prayer as long as one is waiting for the prayer. Volume 1, Book 11, number 621. Narrated by Abu Salama bin Abdur Rahman. Abu Hurairah said, I heard Allah's apostles saying, the reward of a prayer in congregation is 25 times greater than that of a prayer offered by a person alone. The angels of the night and the angels of the day gather at the time of Fajr prayer. Abu Hurairah then added, recite the holy book if you wish, for, indeed, the recitation of the Quran in the early dawn, Fajr prayer, is ever witnessed. 17.18. Narrated, Abdullah bin Umar. The reward of the congregational prayer is 27 times greater than that of the prayer offered by a person alone. Volume 1, Book 11, number 622. Narrated by Salim. I heard ad-Darda saying, Abu ad-Darda entered the house in an angry mood. I said to him, what makes you angry? He replied, by Allah, I do not find the followers of Muhammad doing those good things which they used to do before, except the offering of congregational prayer. This happened in the last days of Abu ad-Darda, during the rule of Uthman. Volume 1, Book 11, number 623. Narrated by Abu Musa. The Prophet said, the people who get tremendous reward for the prayer are those who are farthest away from the mosque, and then those who are next farthest, and so on. Similarly, one who waits to pray with the Imam has greater reward than one who prays and goes to bed. Volume 1, Book 11, number 624. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, while a man was going on a way, he saw a thorny branch and removed it from the way, and Allah became pleased by his action and forgave him for that. Then the Prophet said, 5 are martyrs. One who dies of plague, one who dies of an abdominal disease, one who dies of drowning, one who is buried alive, and dies, and one who is killed in Allah's cause. The Prophet further said, if the people knew the reward for pronouncing the Adhan and for standing in the first row in the congregational prayer, and found no other way to get it except by drawing lots, they would do so. And if they knew the reward of offering the Zuhr prayer early, in its stated time, they would race for it, and they knew the reward for Isha and Fajr prayers in congregation, they would attend them even if they were to crawl.